Welcome to the Why Did I Get Cancer podcast. I'm Deborah Herlax-Enos, a small-town girl turned TV nutritionist and healthy living expert. I design health programs for the average guy or gal, including those average guys named Metallica. On September 1st, 2020, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. I asked every oncologist the same question, why did I get cancer? But none of my doctors had good answers for me. I wanted answers, and that's why I started this podcast. I want to help you to lower your cancer risk and provide self-care tips for those in the battle. I'm getting answers, and I want to share them with you. Welcome to Why Did I Get Cancer, the What I Learned in July issue. I love learning, but I also love simple. And this is why one of my favorite guests, Dr. Stephen Hussey, his information really spoke to me. We talked a lot about how to keep things simple. We talked about circadian rhythm. Because we're around fake lighting a lot, especially more in the winter, but all the fluorescent lights, the LEDs, you name it, our body, our circadian rhythm can get off. When our circadian rhythm, which is basically your 24-hour clock, when that gets off, you'll have excessive daytime sleepiness. Okay, I'm raising my hand over here. Maybe a hard time getting to sleep, maybe a hard time staying asleep. So what I loved about Dr. Hussey's information is he talked about, let's reset that. How do you reset it? Super simple, with light. Okay, now what's the next step, Deb? You're probably asking, probably thinking. Get outside first thing in the morning. Look toward the sunrise. And in the evening, look toward the sunset. You don't need to have your eyes blazing into the sun. That's not healthy either. But to look in the direction of the sun, feel it on your skin, it will make a big difference. It will help to reset that 24-hour circadian rhythm. And what that does is it helps you to sleep better the next day. So when you get up at first thing in the morning, get a glass of water, go outside, put your feet in the grass. Even if you don't have an opportunity to do that, just try to get outside. You're on a balcony looking toward the sunrise with a glass of water. That will help you to sleep better that night because it starts the clock. We really need to start the clock when it comes to our sleep, AKA circadian rhythm. So having morning light will help that to happen. It'll help to do that reset. Now, I will see the old me before I knew this. I'd get up, my blinds would be closed. I'd stagger out to my kitchen, make a cup of coffee, stagger back to the bathroom, take a shower, and it might be 2 hours before I would actually think, oh yeah, I should get outside, or I should, what's the day like? Open my blinds. So now I'm 2 hours behind in my circadian rhythm reset. So this is some of the information I loved about Dr. Hussey. It was so simple. Morning light will help you to sleep better that night. Here's his other tip. Screens. Okay, you've heard me preach about the screens before, but they put off a lot of light even when you dial them down, or I'm talking about cell phones, of course, but iPads do this. Also being too close to a television at night when you're just kind of chilling and watching a movie, too much light. So it's that evening light that your body says, oh my gosh, I thought it was nighttime. I'm starting to make melatonin for Deb so she can fall asleep. And instead, I'm going to shift. I'm going to stop making all of the relaxing types of hormones. And I'm going to make the more stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol, which is going to kind of amp me up and really give me that second wind. I don't know how many times I've done this where I think, okay, I'm done with my cell phone 2 hours before bed, put it on do not disturb. And then I think, oh shoot, I forgot to send a text or I forgot to set my alarm, fire my phone back up. And all of a sudden I get the big burst of light into my eyeballs, which again is a sign to my body. It's time to wake up and it's time to be alert. Well, it's 10 o'clock at night. It's time for me to put my head on the pillow and sleep well. But what happens is I get the second wind and then I'm up until 2 a.m. So I'm taking a lot of his advice, I'm putting that into my nighttime routine and my morning routine with getting out first thing in the morning. But at night, I'm really trying to modify my lights in my house, turning them down lower, staying off of the screens. And I'm actually sitting a little bit farther back from the television as well. And that seems to be helping. And then I got blue light blockers. So I can clip those onto my distance glasses if I'm watching a movie. And that also really knocks down the blue light. And I'll tag that product in the show notes. So the other podcast in July that I published had such an impact on me, and it was Dr. Greg Jantz, and he has been such a longtime friend of mine. And on the 4th of July, he passed away, and his words have been so impactful in my life. So I want to share some of them with you. On the podcast, we talked about toxic people and that their impact on your health and wellness and immune system. And he was saying, do what you can to stay away from toxic people. Do what you can to not be triggered by them. Push the pause button, walk away. It's okay to take toxic people who maybe are in your inner circle because maybe they're even family members, which honestly, that seems to happen a lot. And it's okay to move them from that inner circle to a very far outer circle. And when you know you're going to be around them, he was talking about, holidays and birthday parties and things like that. You have a bodyguard with you. And he said it could be your best friend, it could be a spouse, it could be a cousin. And when they see you with that button pusher and that toxic person, they're going to come gently alongside of you and they're going to be a source of strength for you. And when the conversation maybe is going in the wrong direction and maybe you lose your words, that person's going to be there to support you. And this is really your training program so that you can begin to do this on your own. I love Dr. Jantz's gentle advice in this area. And the other thing is we don't have to feel guilty about moving a toxic person from one of our inner circles to an outer circle. There is no guilt. So let that go. And then Dr. Jantz started talking to me about forgiveness. And y'all know this is an area I used to really struggle with. And he was saying that a lack of forgiveness is like handing away your personal power to that person. Oh my gosh, that's the last thing I want to be doing is to have a person in my life who maybe I know I need to forgive. Maybe I'm mad at them. They did something, they said something, or they didn't do something. And now I've handed over my personal power to them because I'm not forgiving them. And so he was saying also that when we forgive them, we do it for us. It's a gift to ourselves. It's not a gift to them. It doesn't mean we need to go have lunch or hang out, but that forgiveness is a gift to you. And it's a way to regain your personal power back from a person, from a situation, from something that just honestly isn't working for you. We talked about how forgiveness, and he's got research to back this up, forgiveness can be good for your immune system and helping to lower levels of inflammation in your body. And he was talking about the center that he runs in Edmonds, Washington, and it's been in existence for 40 years. They work with people who eating disorders, PTSD, addiction, you name it. And he said when he sees somebody who's really stuck and having a hard time going to the next level in their care, he said it's usually the forgiveness piece that is slowing their progress down. So figure out ways to forgive. Dr. Jantz also said, when we have those emotions and we don't deal with them, they have to go somewhere. They just do. Like the emotion is going to be stuck in your body. The way I'm working on forgiveness is as I go to the gym, when I get to the gym and I'm lifting weights, the class is really loud, so nobody can hear me. And I will say, God, do I need to forgive somebody today? And sometimes a person comes to mind. And it might be a really old thing I need to forgive, or it might be a new thing. It might be a little thing, it might be a big thing. But either way, I think about that person. I say, I forgive you and I release you to the Holy Spirit. I let this go. I may need to say that 10 times. I may even need to raise my voice a little bit. So if you see me doing that at the gym, just give me a little space. But I'm telling you, when I'm finished with my workout and forgiving that person, I feel better. I'm happier. My energy is better. sleep better that night. So it's the simple things that I have made harder in my life. So let's go with just simple. Simple is a good thing. It's summer. Let's enjoy the simple things in life. Getting outside, walking in the grass, staying hydrated, staying off of screens, working on that one, and being around people who really make you laugh. And again, moving those button pushers, moving them out of your inner circle and not feeling guilty about it. Press the pause button. Have some fun. Have some joy. Be generous. Be kind. I love you all. Thanks for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you next month. Happy July or happy August. These are the things I learned in July. So happy August. Okay, I think I told you guys that I did a parasite cleanse in May and it was hard, but it was good. And so I want to tell you a little bit more about it. I just interviewed the founder of Mrs. Rogers Hood, Kim Rogers, and I got to ask her all the down and dirty questions that I had during my parasite cleanse. And I got to tell you, like I said, it was hard. And I had it impacted my sleep and it impacted my mood. You can ask my husband about that. But I got to tell you, I feel better now. And I was asking her, I said, Kim, I feel like I don't have the sugar cravings anymore. I don't feel like I have the brain fog like that I used to have. And I said, honestly, every day between 2 and 5 for the last 40 years of my life, I have craved sugar and caffeine, usually in that order. And I have to really fight it. And then if I do have those things, all I want to do is take a nap. And so I was saying that after the cleanse, I all of a sudden noticed, hold on, like I have more energy in the afternoon. And I don't find myself going over to my pantry and grabbing some chocolate. And I asked her about it, and she said, yes, that is one of the benefits of getting rid of those buggers that were in my body, is that they drive the sugar cravings. So I got to tell you, I'm sold on it. And I can't wait for you to listen to the podcast. But if you're interested in one of Kim's kits, I'm going to tag it on the show notes. Use the code DENOS10 to get 10% off. I'm going to order a couple more. My poor husband, we're going to do it again. She was recommending 2 or 3 times a year. Anyway, like I said, I'm really glad I did it. I am loving the impact now. And it was great just to have that conversation with her. So hope you enjoy the kit and follow Kim Rogers, Mrs. Rogers Hood. She is a wealth of information and she's super generous with her information. She's got a lot out there. So enjoy. Hey, y'all, can you do me a favor today and go and leave a review of this podcast? I know that the more great reviews, wink, wink, emphasis on great reviews that I get, along with more downloads and more subscribers, that pushes this podcast out to people who might normally not even find it. And the reason I started this podcast and my real heart for starting this podcast is that I needed this information. It wasn't available. And so I started a podcast so that I could be a blessing to others. So you're a blessing to me just by being here. And again, thank you for your support. Thank you for your positive reviews and all of the notes that you send me. And also just wanted to say, hey, keep in mind, I'm not a doctor. And if you need medical advice, please reach out to your team. That is going to be just the best source for you because they know you. So again, I hope you enjoy this podcast.